same opening question every single time. I would love to know, what was someone like yourselves like upbringing like?
Um, I don't know, kind of standard, I think. When I was younger, I don't know, go to the park a lot, play football. Then I got into like a lot of FIFA. Used to play like a lot of FIFA because obviously from the UK. And then it just suddenly like went onto PC, and I just got introduced to like CS. Did the normal like college, uni. Like it's pretty standard stuff, to be honest. Um, yeah, if you want to help.
Uh, I think that's a great answer. I think
Yeah.
the question we kind of dive into closer with that is like, okay, so a lot of guys grow up and they start with sports games or shooters, one or the other. It sounds like you started with FIFA. Is there a timeline of like, okay, you were around this age, like I don't know what schools you guys have over there. We would say middle school over here, like playing FIFA, and then once
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
into high school, then you were playing CS. Like, when did the CS career start, and like how did you start getting into the shooter genre?
So in the UK, you got like primary school where you're like going until you're like about 10 years old, and then you got high school. Um, I would actually say like I was a late bloomer, like going into CS. Like I was pretty much finishing high school when I started playing CS. Like I look back and I look at like all the other pros who have played it since they're like tiny kids, like. But I started it literally towards the end. I don't know how it is in America, but I think it's like starting college,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yep.
like doing that, right? So like I was like really late bloomer into it because most of the people in the UK they play like FIFA or like Call of Duty. So CS isn't like a massive thing. I didn't really know much of it until like a friend from school literally gifted me the game. He said, "Man, you got to try this game." I was like, "All right then." So he got me it for Christmas. I was like, I'll give it a try then. I might as well, back in the time when you had to pay for the game.
That's
But
so
yeah, that was
interesting.
like the start.
It's so interesting that esports have become like kind of regional or, dependent upon what country or part of the world you grow up in. So you said that you mentioned FIFA or other esports like Call of Duty being more UK based. Are there any other games that you think are kind of UK heavy?
Um, not I don't know about that. Maybe Rocket League. Is Rocket League like really big in the UK?
I think
I've heard like a
semi.
lot of good players in the
Yeah, I think
UK.
semi. I would just I don't know too much about like because I feel like in North America you would say Call of Duty is definitely a big one. Over in the Asian regions you would say League of Legends is huge. For Danish you would say Counterstrike off the cuff right away. So I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
think of like different esports for
Maybe
different regions
F1.
of the world.
Something to do with like F1. Like I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of people who are like massive F1 fans in the UK. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I guess it's also like a different type of industry, right?
Yeah, it's very, very, very. Uh,
But
so,
yeah, I think it's mainly FIFA. Everyone just addicted to it here.
so like with you being a late bloomer, when at what age did you kind of discover, okay, I might want to do this professionally? And then if you realize, okay, maybe I'm a bit behind, like how do you catch back up, or how do you kind of nail down, like I want to be a Counter-Strike pro, and how can I do this? Like when does that come across your mind?
I think like roughly when I was like 18, 19, I remember there was like there's a LAN in the UK called iSeries, and like I firstly started like playing some regional CS like with UK teams, like very low tier UK teams, and like this is a big LAN event in the UK, a bit like Fragadelphia, right? But a bit smaller. Um, where like you have to go and like show your skills, show what you got. And I remember my family were going on holiday, and I used to go on holiday all the time with my family, and I was like, couldn't afford to go. So I was like, look, if you can give me the money instead of going on holiday and I can go to this LAN event, I trust you. I'm going to make it worth it. So I did that, went to this iSeries LAN, and just suddenly it just like clicked. I was able to meet people. I understood it then. It's like it clicks when you're in person, when you're seeing like the hall of PCs, the tournaments going on. You see like the pros, the like proper professionals at the time. So like it was kind of like a step into the right direction, if that makes sense. Going into like the professional scene. So like after that, I was just like addicted, grinding, no matter what, you know, playing every tournament, just full send.
Dude,
Nice.
I love those stories, Hunter. I know you probably got one to rip. I love those stories because it seems like everyone we talk to has those moments where either they were like begging like a grandfather or like a mother or someone for like just those funds to give it one try. They were like, hey, you will not regret this. And it's just so cool that the people that actually made it happen. I don't know. I just love hearing those kind of moments.
Yeah,
it was
especially
definitely
because
worth it.
you never know.
Go ahead.
Like, do you think you would have? What happens if you don't? If you didn't succeed at that land, you know,
right.
like, do you think would
Wait.
you have thrown in the towel? Like, there's so many what ifs in those situations that.
Like, what if Thomas goes to I Series and just flops? You know, like,
Yeah,
or hates it.
right.
And he's like,
Right.
I'm going to
Yeah.
FIFA.
Like the bathroom smells really bad, and he never wants to go back to a CS event. Like, you never know. My question was going to be,
Some
so
things
once
never
you
change, man.
yeah, true. Once it like clicked for you in this moment, and like you're addicted, you're grinding, you're a fan of the scene. Was there at that point a player or team that you looked up to a lot of, like, okay, I want to be professional. This is someone that I'm gonna watch a lot of, or study, or just generally a fan of?
I wasn't watching professional CS that much. Like, I've never been an avid fan of watching it. But like I guess I got really fortunate. So like when Smooya was unknown and I was unknown, we were battling each other all the time on ESEA, and then we randomly started playing with each other, and then we grinded together, you know. So like me and Owen we've been playing for years. Like, my mental health's destroyed, but yeah, we just wanted to beat everyone in front of us, if that makes sense. And we sort of just came together and just did that. But when I was looking at Pro CS, I think at the time it was the SK team was going through their era with like Fallen, Cold Zero, and I was like, yeah, it was awesome to watch. But like, I always loved the underdogs, you know. Like, I loved watching teams like Liquid, like when they had Simple stand-in. Like, I don't know what major that was, but I remember watching that major being like, yeah, man, I'd love to try and do that one day. But yeah,
That's cool. I like that. We have a question for you about good old Smooya. I can't imagine what that was like. We interviewed him. I don't know how you have been around that guy for so long. To be honest with you, just kidding. We love
I
Smooya.
think I might
You
be
must
as
have-
spoiled as him, you know. Like, my brain might just be like melting. I don't know yet.
I was gonna say your mental fortitude to be around Smooth that long has got to be real up there.
Yeah, it prepares you for life. You know, that's what I like. You know, sometimes you need a reality check, and he will give it to me.
That's cool. Jake, you have one? You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna ask that question about Smooth. I got a really random one that I hope, Thomas, I hope you're not offended by this. I don't think you're kind of the guy that is. when I compared you to Scump, you wouldn't be offended by that, right?
Not the Call of Duty player.
Yeah,
Man,
somebody said it.
I'm red-headed, man. You know, I take flack all the time.
Okay, I just wanted to read a question because this someone else started it first, man. Someone said, no disrespect, but Thomas looks like Scump if he had a beard and played Counterstrike. Thoughts?
Yeah, but he's the GOAT, isn't he? In COD, he is like literally the GOAT. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool out of the comment. But aside from that as well, you being from the UK, you saying that CS is maybe underrepresented in the UK. Does that mean there's more of like, so when you represent like a full British or a full UK squad, is there like a pride in that when you're going to these competitions? And like, is there a newfound kind of pride representing that kind of country?
Yeah, like I came up in the UK having Rattlesnake, you know, like, and he was pretty much quitting by the time I started, and you understood when you're like going up in the UK scene like 5-10 years ago or whatever now, is like how good they used to like be, you know, like back in my day I was insane. And I don't think the UK has had that until we made Paris. like we had a genuine team that could compete, and I think, you know, it's for like any country. I would imagine, like, if NA never had a team and then a team just randomly did it. It's like when they won the major in Boston. Like, it was nuts. It's just, it's something special actually when I think about it. And I think it also does like wonders for the scene, like for your local scene, no matter what. Like, one team's success also brings more eyes, more people into that region. So yeah, it was something special, man. Like, kind of sad that it ended, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's certainly a different story we'll probably get into in a few minutes, but because we were there at that major, that's obviously where we first bumped into you. And it is cool though that Counterstrike can be such a big moment in time and especially at a major, that like you said, it doesn't really matter where you are from. If you have a run at a Counterstrike major, part of your nation's going to come out and there's going to be overwhelming support. I remember being there and like ITB was like all these new eyes and we're like, this team is fiery, this team is new, this team is an underdog, right? Can you speak to maybe more what that major moment was like, the top 8 run, like being there? It was obviously probably a new experience, but it was also so crazy even to just be a viewer of it all. So can you kind of speak more to that?
Yeah, so I like the main thing I remember from Paris, like playing Vitality, is walking out and just hearing the boos, man, from the Vitality fans. Like, it's such a brutal game to play like your first time on the stage with like your team, and you're playing the French team at home, and it's just like the stadium's packed with Vitality fans, and we've just got this like little UK corner like absolutely cheering us on. But yeah, that was absolutely nuts. Like, seeing people come out, you know, there was a lot of love around, and I think, you know, the scene really did rally behind us and really did hope for the best. And it's like really nice to see people supporting each other. Like, I think in the UK scene, people used to not support each other and they preyed on each other's downfall. But like, for once, I feel like a lot of people in the scene, you know, they supported us, the same as like how I think people like Kai, Volt, and myself like will support them, you know. So like, I think it was a big moment in UKCS, but like, I believe it's opened the doors for like the future of, you know, for the players in the UK to think like, it is achievable. Like, it's been done. It can happen again. Like, it's opened a lot of people's eyes, you know.
And obviously drawing Vitality, like you said, in the quarterfinals, the eventual major champions, is that like a thought that lingers with you, or is it the moment itself where you guys are like, hey, top 8 run at the major for a UK squad, regardless of who you get matched up in, regardless of what you do past that point, is a tremendous accomplishment? Does it float one way or the other?
Well, not only were we playing Vitality at home, but we were playing the #1 team in the world. Like, we had no expectations. Like, we had to just give it everything, and, you know, we gave it our all, and it just wasn't enough. But we had a lot of stuff against us. I think, yeah, it's a hard game for any team. You know, you could have put Prime Astralis or like Prime SK or whatever. I think even they would have a hard time, right, against like Vitality at home. Like, that team was doing insanely good. They were dominating, winning tournament after tournament after tournament. Like, we were never in the rights to win that match. So we gave it a good go, and, you know, you gotta live and learn, right?
What is it like when you are, and I know this has probably been answered 100 times before, but so pardon my ignorance, but say you're playing Vitality at home. You're hearing you said the boos are crazy, but you hear all the cheering too whenever, you know, you're literally playing against them. They're winning rounds. They have all these chants going on. Are you hearing all of that? Like, is it pretty clear through your headset, through your in-ears? Like, how does that sound? Like, is there a lot of sound leakage? And then how does that feel? Like, how can you focus on the game when you're hearing that, if you are?
Turning up your volume. You know,
Dude,
like,
is Jeff after the game.
yeah, literally. You gotta shove your volume up, and because you can physically feel it, you know, because they had cannons going up with flames, so like you had the vibrations. Like, it's something which was like a whole new experience for like my entire team, you know, I think Vitality probably experienced it before. They were very smooth. But yeah, the Vitality fans, you know, they gave us love as well. There was a lot of respect. So I think it went well considering everything.
Yeah.
We weren't like out of the game, you know. We weren't ever out of the game. I think we even got like more rounds than the next two teams that they played. So I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, you had a trumpet in the crowd, if I remember correctly, right?
Oh, there was probably
Vitality
way more
did,
than
yeah.
that.
Yeah, Vitality had a trumpet. I don't know how you can focus on that. Leaning away, Jake, if you don't mind, from that specific event, I did have a general question that you guys kind of sparked when you were talking about Scump. You said something about him being the GOAT of Call of Duty. In your opinion, then, what does it take today to be the GOAT of CS?
Dang, Hunter.
That's a hard one. Yeah, that's a hard one. Well, you gotta be loved. You gotta have like good personality, and you gotta have like the best skill in the game, right? Like you have to have like the combination of everything. Like I think Simple had it for so long, right? He had the personality, he had the skill, he had his own sort of like way of playing. You know, which just makes him totally different. Like he is the GOAT, but I think GOATs go through errors, right? And I think there's like a lot of GOATs from before. Like you got Get Right, Forest. Like I don't really know how to answer that. Like, you know, if you're the GOAT, you're the GOAT for like a period. So I think you just got to be the best, and so
Yeah.
like or cheating, I guess.
Cadian.
No, I would agree
Yeah,
with you.
okay.
It's the criteria of labeling a GOAT is so hard, and I think with esports, I think it flows a lot more freely than it does like with sports. With sports, it's like stationary of like you have 1, 2, 3 GOATs of all time. I feel like nowadays in esports, there's so much going on, especially with Counterstrike. There's so many events. Like you said, it can be periodical. In the span of 4 years, these guys are going to like 100 events. So like you're gonna have your Astralis era or your NIP era with their GOATs coinciding, right? But I totally agree with you. You got to have personality, you got to have the skill, and it's always going to be subjective, right?
Ah, totally. I think you know, you look at football, you got like Messi, Ronaldo, and all that. But I think in football, the careers are much longer, right? So having an error in CS, I think it's going to be shorter, but it's going to be way more impactful during that time than like maybe a Ronaldo who's maybe had like a good season, but he didn't win it. You know, he didn't win the Champions League because it's a build-up in football all the way to one tournament. You know, and in CS it's like tournament after tournament after tournament. It's winning a load in a row. So
Yeah.
like it's like Device or Dupree, for example, just winning everything at once. So like it's impressive no matter what.
Yeah, I like that. You can kind of let this one sit for a couple minutes. I don't know if anything comes to mind right away, but I wanted to try this this new question for every player we run into. What is one of the crazier stories on LAN that you've experienced? It can be a crazy moment with a fan. It can be a crazy moment or experience with a team. It can be a weird experience, and you can let this one sit. But like, what's a crazy, odd thing that's happened to you on LAN?
You gotta be careful.
Like, yeah, you can say
you never know what's going on, but that's a hard one. Something specific, something weird or crazy. I don't know. The one that comes to my mind is I went to Epic LAN with Smooya, and somebody came to give him a live donation, right? And I just remember it being so awkward. I was sat next to him. So Owen, or Smooya, he pulled out his wallet and literally like 3 times the money he was going to get gifted to this kid. And it was just the most awkward exchange I've ever seen, you know? I don't know. Like,
why did he open his wallet?
No, he like this kid wanted to give him like a live donation, you know?
Yeah,
like, yeah. So like, and it was so awkward with how it like happened. Smooya just got out his wallet and gave him more money. Like, I don't know. Like he was donating, he was giving the money to him. even though he wanted to give the money to him. I don't know. It was super weird. But yeah, that is like something I can remember. Like that came into my mind. I hope he
Smooya's
doesn't
like,
mind it.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, literally, it was. Nah, man, I've got you. Just remember, I've got you, bro. Cheers for being a fan. You know.
Dude, oh, I can totally see that. That's freaking great. Oh man. Hunter, yeah, sorry, I just wanted to go on that little side note there. I only got a couple more, Hunter. Then I'm good for these freaking these viewer clips.
Yeah, for sure.
Thomas, I know you've probably seen the recent news around ITB. I don't know how closely you keep track of, or maybe you haven't. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there was a follow-up there. I was thinking.
I know you say you don't watch competitive all the time, but I didn't know how closely you kept track on Twitter. So if you guys have missed the news, ITB most recently announced they're kind of resetting, they're kind of restructuring to try and afford to be in Counterstrike. I don't know if you could maybe have a few more words of what was it like after you have a successful run at a major like that? I know that we all know that keeping a roster together in CS is very difficult after you have a successful major. Is that something like you're open to talking to more of of how that all went down, like how quickly things change when that kind of run happens?
Yeah, I don't mind. You know, we had a lot of success at the Paris Major. There were a lot of eyes on players like Kai and Volt, which were like our young guns. So, and contractually, I don't think we could have fought to keep them. I think it was a shame. Like we wanted to at least keep one, but we lost both in the end. So going into the new season, management rebuilt the roster with experienced players, like to try and keep that level. But like, I think like they took a risk, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out. You know. I think the players like were all good enough to play at that level, but I think when you approach CS teams, you've got to have like a correct mixture of players. You know, like ways. You know, you need people who are playing aggressive in game, more passive, who are more like passive and monotoned in person, or you know, you gotta have the correct people to make something like really work correctly, I think. And I think ITB just went through a lot of phases where they weren't able to find the correct mixture of players. And that pretty much like lost their total identity, right? So like we built off Paris a UK identity. I think we had, you know, a lot of sponsors coming from like UK sources, you know, and when you lose your identity as a team, you gotta be able to put up like really big numbers, big games. You gotta do like really well internationally to fight for the international sponsors. So I think it became much more difficult for ITB to approach sponsors because they lost their like brand identity in my eyes, which is a shame. But you know, it couldn't have been helped, if that makes sense. Like there weren't the people to continue a UK lineup like as at least a 3-man core, and they took a risk on international players who are all good, but they just didn't, you know, click and slot in correctly. But yeah, that's just what happens, you know. It happens all the time, and when you don't have the right mixture of people, it's just not going to work. But when you do, it's going to work really well, and then anything can happen.
Yeah, I think we always see like these big teams, right? Maybe have a bit more bigger pockets or bigger budgets to last a bit longer with. And like you said, the turnover rate of a lot of these lineups, right? We see all these successful runs at majors that end up in roster changes. I think it's easy to forget like how difficult it is to keep a roster like that together for a prolonged period of time and keep on finding success because of how competitive the freaking scene is, you know?
Yeah, I think partnership spots definitely play like a big factor. Like the fact that they're getting rid of them is going to be like a massive like good thing for CS, for like tier 2, tier 3 or whatever, any orc outside of the circuit, which I think is going to probably make teams be way more competitive, to be honest. But like with spots up, for grabs. Like one bad season from like a team like G2 or FaZe or something, and they might not be invited back. You know, like it's as cutthroat as that, to be honest. And it gives everyone else an opportunity to like climb back in. You know, they've always had the stability, they've had the staff, they've had the facilities, they've had, you know, all of this. And I think a lot of tier 2 teams, they don't have that. So it's like kind of you're fighting like against Premier League teams when you're in League One, pretty much. Like with the funding and the support you get. But yeah.
Yeah. We're big fans of the open system coming back to, what is it, 2025? I think it's gonna be a nice twist to see, and we're gonna see it across like a lot of esports. So I'm definitely excited for that.
It's definitely like I think it's great for the scene, but I think it's gonna get spicy very fast. Like I think you're gonna see a lot of like roster changes now, but like if people start like shitting the fan, like hit the fan for like big teams, I definitely think like a lot of changes are gonna happen much sooner than like say in CS:GO, where teams will continue for like 8 to 12 months, like trying to make the lineup work. I think that time is gonna shorten a lot because they need to have the results in a 6-month period or something. So like it's gonna be way more cutthroat, and I think a lot of changes, seeing who's the correct fit for this, that. I think it's going to be in like an interesting period.
Yeah,
we're both excited for it. Hunter, you got
I'm gonna start saying shitting the fan more often. But also
when shit hits the fan, I said it wrong.
Combination of words, all right.
I know, I agree, but I was thinking about it. And I was like, I kind of like shitting the fan.
Yeah.
What was my thought? I had a thought about the open system. I don't know. I think
with shit in the fan. Man.
Yeah, you did. You catch me off guard with that.
It's blown your mind.
I think we are just generally excited for it. Like I think it's gonna. I mean, I think there's gonna be exciting parts and also kind of sad parts where like you're gonna get to see some demons come out of nowhere. Hopefully, like that's the biggest goal. Just some random kid, like a undiscovered dunk, you know, that's just gonna pop off one day, and like who knows what's gonna happen, and this roster is gonna go all the way through and win it. Like that is the dream of esports, and I think we're gonna see that. But at the same time, as soon as that happens, you know that roster's getting torn apart by the people who can offer huge salaries. Like the sharks are in the water at that point, which people will be sad about. But I think we're stoked either way. But yeah, let's get in.
That's the game, you know. That's the game. The game's the game. And if you're a small fish, you're going to get eaten up eventually, so you might as well just struggle to survive, I guess. If you can hold on to something, you hold on to it with dear life, trust me.
You take those IRL viewer donations, all right? Don't give them.
Yeah.
That's 3x back.
You'll pocket it now.
We're going to switch over. We're going to do just a few clips here. The general gist of this is, hey, we're going to watch these clips that were submitted on Twitter. X, whatever the hell you want to call it, and we asked people to give us clips that you could give advice on, but that does not ever happen because no one wants to send bad clips. So more or less, it's watching these clips and saying what these people did well to begin with. Most of the time, of like, yeah, this is why this is a good clip, and maybe this is what they could do better. Is kind of the gist. It's not super serious, you know. Like some of the clips are probably good. We haven't watched them. Could be goofy, like we don't know. It's not super intense, just kind of commentary on the clip, more or less.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
you can stop Hunter whenever you want. You could say whatever you want. You could say nothing at all. It's just blank stare.
Leave it to us to break down the clip, which would be awful.
We can speculate what Thomas would say.
Yeah. So it'll be just a second here. I'm going to share my screen. That one. Okay, and then I gotta change yes real quick. Because right now, Jake is Thomas, Thomas is me, and I'm Jake. So give me a second. Your double underscore, man, so long.
I know, man.
It's a rough
bloody
life.
awful.
It's not the
Well,
worst. Because, like, who's using Thomas CS, you know?
yeah, I know. It's always someone. I actually think somebody asked to sell it to me. Like
Yeah,
years.
weird. I wonder who that would be, man. Maybe you should
Yeah.
name it. Weird.
Yeah. You know anything about that?
I just have a bunch of Counterstrike
I'm
gamer
still trying
tags.
to fight about it with on Face It, man. I'm like, oh man, can I please get Thomas on Face It? And they're like, nah. Some guy's using it. So like on Face It, how it works is if you're AFK, like you don't play for 6 months, you lose a name, right? So like somebody else can take it. Like if you contact the staff, and there's this one guy who's got Thomas, who will play once every 6 months, literally just taking the piss. He's like some level 4 like Polish player, and I'm just sat there like he plays one game every 6 months.
And he just
Just
sends
to
you
keep
a
the name.
screenshot of his game every 6 months.
No. Sometimes I'll go check it, you know, like maybe ask like once a year or something, and they'll be like, unfortunately, yeah, they've played it again, you know. He's played again. He's keeping
He's showing
it.
promise.
All right. So I figured we'd start this off strong. This was one of the responses we got. This isn't a clip. This is one of the responses we got. What's this about? What's going on here?
What are you doing on stream, Thomas?
No comment.
All right. Fair enough.
No
fair
comment.
enough.
No comment from me. Like, no comment.
All
Let's
right.
get that off, yeah. Delete that.
He just leaves the Discord.
All right. So here we got one from
A minute
Snades.
clip? Jesus.
Yeah, starting off strong, I
Quick,
guess.
Liz.
I didn't even look. Ace Op 1v4 at CSGO roll.
wait. P.S. I may have lost this knife on your site. What the?
I mean, I guess
The game's
it's
a game,
good
you know.
The name of the game.
The game is the game, man. If he lost it, you know, he went for all of it. Insane one tap with the orb.
No. What the frick?
Wait, what the hell
Yeah,
was that? Was that in the clip?
Yeah, that was Jake actually.
Yeah,
No,
Jake.
Get excited when I see ops.
What's the child?
You're right.
Very drawn out clip.
Yeah. Could cut some spaces
Right,
here,
someone
Snade. Oh!
Oh.
He is taking his time.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh man, if that was a headshot, that would have been fucking pretty sick. Nice little
Like how-
360 no scope there.
We liked it and
360.
Thomas hated it.
I've got a feeling he's gonna win this.
Yes.
Yeah!
Dude, if you would have bet that on CSGO roll, you would have won.
Yeah, that's true. Clean clip,
First
I
of all,
guess.
yeah, I mean, sounds like I don't know how old this kid is. First of all, I feel kind of concerned this kid's on CSGO roll betting knives.
Yeah.
It's my biggest concern, and the way I could fix your match is probably don't gamble this young, my friend. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple spots that I feel like were kind of iffy. I don't know if you would agree. I tell all the pros that I am awful at CS, so my words mean nothing. But like, I feel like right here, I would have just panicked immediately. At that peak right there, I saw that guy, and I would have, I think, started running. Did they play it right? Like, they're just holding this spot right here where they have like 2 lines of sight. I mean, they have people on both sides of them. Is that a good angle to hold?
Well, I think right here he was he had to do something, right? I think jiggling long's good. He killed the guy under short, so in reality they're gonna be like pincering him, you know, like peeking from short and one from long. I think, you know, he's aware, and he did some good little debate, you know, some little shoulder peaks.
Yeah.
I think he played it as well as you can. Like, it's a hard round to win from here, especially from this position with like 2 bullets with your AWP. Like, it's kind of rough.
Yeah. Good words. I felt in this spot right here, I was like, man, I don't know how you killed this guy. Just lucky timing, just the turnaround. All right, then we've got Fozzy FPS here, 40 seconds.
There we go,
He's got
Fozzy.
some UK Counterstrike is what we've got going on here.
Big up, big up.
Maybe.
Oh, typical
Come on,
X.
Fozzy.
You're under default.
Oh, I just got shot through the smoke.
Under clear, under clear, under clear.
It's so
That's
great,
right,
man.
that's right,
Listening
that's
to
right.
people
One more,
always
one more,
complain
okay.
with how they die. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. Fuck's sake, man. I've just been shot through the smoke. Like, I don't need to tell my life story, but us UK people, we have a way of telling everyone how we just died. And making sure that they know it's not our fault.
CT, one more CT.
So, one stairs.
Okay, I'm going back to Tetris.
I'm kind of just fighting a mix of everything here, Cam. Stairs tagged. I'm more.
Try and hold if you can.
Great comps.
Dead.
Stairs
Nice
dead.
one.
Oh.
Can't help, Matt, can't help.
Oh, honestly, this is
HP
crisp.
numbers.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect right there. You know, that's me. That's me on LAN right there. Guys, I've got him, man. Just trust me. There's one jungle. He's gonna die in a minute. Don't worry. Just wait. Nah. It's kind of a bad win.
I'm dead.
Let's fucking go, boys!
Honestly, it's a good recovery considering he's just spent like his entire 20 bullets killing one guy.
Nice one.
This is what you call the struggle.
Can't help, Matt,
You
can't
know,
help.
this is a struggle right here.
We've all had this with a Glock. That was 15 bullets.
Oh
I think.
yeah. No, it was literally 20. I swear, from the start to finish, it was 20 bullets, and he even dinked him. So like, he's missed at least 17 bullets. But you know, the game's the game. He's won it. He won the duel.
It's at that
and he
point
also-
I would love to have the other team's comms.
They're probably as
True.
messy as this team's comms, to be honest.
Like whoever
Actually,
he
they're
took
pretty
17
smooth.
shots, whoever he took 17 bullets to kill, I want to hear what they're saying to that guy.
Well, because that guy missed all of his shots. is
That
the
guy
thing.
was just hopping
Yeah.
around. You know the
This is
panic
scary,
cops?
Yeah. Is this like tunnel vision? Is this bad? Like after you miss so many shots, should you give up or do you just keep shooting?
You gotta go for the kill, you know. When you get into that position, you're like tunnel vision. You're gonna kill this guy no matter what. You're gonna run away and find him. If he
Wait,
runs,
wait.
you're chasing him.
Fozzy is in chat right now somehow. He said, for context, this was the first round in the UK IC League match. Third kill was just a bit of chaos.
Hey, Fozzy,
is-
Fozzy, I just want you to know, I suck at CS. Hunter sucks at CS. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
I never would have won this round. Is the thing. It's
Yeah,
like-
we're not as good as you. Just so you know.
that
Remember,
is-
I would also do this on the daily. Trust me. Everyone does this.
Thomas started the clip out saying, "That's me. That's me."
Yeah, literally. This is me right here.
Also,
then-
what a clean knife. Clean freaking loadout he's got too.
Yeah, the Glock, the gloves. They're kind of fucking nice.
If you're obviously they won, so if you're the other team here, then and you have the first guy run up, get headshot by a pistol right there, do you have the second guy just follow it up in the same exact spot? Like this guy right here just pushes the same spot and challenge from the same angle. Is that a good move? Should he have, you know, adjusted from a different side? Maybe they both push at the same time. Like, what's your advice for the other team here?
I think this is full random, if I'm being honest. Like,
Okay.
1v1s, like this 1v1 is just whoever hits the first bullet, you know? It's definitely like probably easier for the T to win this because Glock's just broke. It's just broke at the moment. It's so much better than the USP. But I don't know. I think it was played well from the T. The CT kind of, he doesn't have much options, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, we got a short one from Lewis
What
here.
short
Not my
clip?
best.
Oh.
Wait, here's one.
Somehow he hasn't taken a single bit of damage, and I've watched like 30 shots just go his way. He's just dodging everything, bro.
It's a little Matrix action.
But he's hit a lot of nice shots here.
I love that his name is Steven Stifler. That's kind of a sick name, not gonna lie.
Stifler, American Pie, right? Where are his?
Nah, so like, it's a really nice round, really crisp. Like, I don't really know what else he could have done here, but he has got lucky, I think. I don't know what these people are doing, running out of Ivy, like at yellow, but they've whiffed everything. If you just watch in a second, they just whiff every single bullet, and I don't know how. Like,
Okay, yeah, there were a few misses.
Yep,
Well,
just a few, but it was a good clip. It was a good clip.
I was also
you
looking.
Take your... Yeah, go
I was
ahead.
just saying, I was looking at the mini map to see, like, I was like, what happened to his teammates? And like, why was he just in this open area by himself at first? But he wasn't. And so I was looking at that, and the guy at the bottom, I think, had just finished killing his teammate right there, and was just still shooting, like he was still spraying, and then tried to transfer onto him.
Oh yeah.
And this guy up top had also had killed someone like
Sandbag.
a little while ago. So I feel like he almost just got a degree of luck of his teammates, taking the
Dying
bullets
for him.
dying for him for a little while, but he took advantage of it well. So
His teammates definitely took all the like good aim, and he got all the opportunities where they just like they can't hold their mouse anymore. But he he hit the good shots. That's all you gotta do. That's a good clip.
just a couple more here.
Nova go boom. Ooh.
Scrub Lord CS.
We love a metal.tv clip.
That's quick.
Oh fuck, I'm blind. I can't stand.
Sorry, I'm fucking blind.
I absolutely love the Nova clips, man.
The
Shotgun
Nova
and,
cherry
like,
apple or the cherry, whatever this freaking called.
Oh fuck, I'm blind. I can't stand.
Is it cherry apple or candy
Is it-
apple?
yeah, candy apple. Yeah.
I don't know how I know that.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
I've
it's kind of weird,
overskinned
Thomas. Sorry.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, it's just 3K.
Yeah, it's 3K, 3K. That 4K
but you
must
gotta
not have gone his way.
Flash.
Let's see. Let's
That's
see one more time.
$2,700 in the bank here. I swear, $900 per kill.
Nice. Good trade.
One of the more satisfying headshot weapons in the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just long range as well. You can just shoot at them from like a mile away. Just absolutely blow up their head.
All right, last one for you, man.
Oh no.
I didn't approve this.
Oh, see, you know. Sometimes you
Teammate.
lag a little bit. Yeah. I was setting up Cypher this game. Like he wanted some stats, and I'm giving him the stats right here. I'm not caring. I'm a selfless guy right here. I'm giving him all the opportunities to get the stats.
That's the
But-
thing the analysts don't see, man.
Agreed. But this one was a rough one, I have to admit.
Hey, man, it's all right.
It happens to everyone, man. It happens to everyone eventually, bro. Trust me. No matter who you are, it will happen.
That's your Fozzie moment, bro.
Yep. I told you, man. It happens to everyone. It's probably worse with an AK though than a Glock.
That's all we got, Jake.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas. I'm gonna hit you up in the DMs, man. We really do appreciate you coming on, dude. It was a great conversation. You had some great answers and obviously some great advice for those clips too, man. We really do appreciate it.
No problem.
We hope to see you at an event sometime in the future, brother.
So do I.
All right. I'll hit you up in the DMs. All right.